Dire team pick.
Wraith King!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Earth Spirit.
You may now select your heroes. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, game 2 here, or sort of game 1.5, really, it feels like. With the same draft, of course, getting through from Tundra. I mean, what sort of your reactions to this team?
I think for Tundra, this is, you know, if they win the second game, right, they've given all the other teams in the upper division pretty much no information. They've shown 5 heroes, not 10. Pretty cool stuff. But for Alliance, I think this really shows how they approach kind of identifying their weaknesses with the heroes that they kind of swapped out, right? Like when Tundra continues to pick the same, Alliance had to kind of showcase, okay, what was the reason why? So for example, Hanskin now playing the Ogre, you're playing with this Wraith King, you're a hero that naturally has high armor. Why did Tundra dominate that off lane? It's because they had Lil Shredder on the Snapfire with this Doom getting cookied on top, just trying to battle down and beat down the safe lane. So this Ogre should be able to absorb the aggression of this dual lane. Wraith King might farm more.
Okay.
You then look towards this Weaver 4. The big fights from Tundra, they were dominating. That's because they had no save on line. So now you have this Weaver who can go maybe for like a Solar Crest to enable the Wraith King in the fight. And then you have this Ags eventually to then reset from the Chrono or even like a Doom situation. It can prop up your Lina to take a bigger fight, or to prop your Wraith King to take a bigger fight. So I can see why Alliance has kind of shifted the supports to stronger lane with Ogre, stronger team fight presence, the Weaver. But again, this is the type of lineup that can fall flat if Tundra hit that stride and get that ball rolling. But I can see why Alliance has shifted in this direction. It's just, can they execute it within the laning phase to give themselves entry to the game?
All right, well, let's see indeed if Alliance can have a bit of a better game than that game 1, which was rather rough, really, after the sort of opening laning segment. Tundra just turning up the heat, 9 popping off. if they can keep a bit of a better handle on what this Spirit's going to be able to do pretty early off the back of the laning stage.
Yeah, and the key thing here, once again, is Supreme is playing a hero which should be able to beat an Earth Spirit in mid lane. Shadowfiend had raises, Lina then has the wave clear, and also Lina is a hero that when Earth Spirit does eventually want to rotate out, instantly start chipping away at that tower with the Fiery Soul stack. So Tundra needs to really be careful how they play this mid lane, because if they lose this tower early on, it could open up Alliance to make these earlier smoke moves. They defended that for quite some time.
And have some good sort of strengths at the support Weaver against this lineup of Tundra this time around.
Yeah, for sure. The Weaver, again, you have kind of 2-3 item options. You often go for like an early urn. You either complete the vessel. You can go urn into just a solo crest to keep pushing that fight. Or you can then eventually try to get the Ags into the mix. And of course, just to clarify, the Aghanims on Weaver, it allows time lapse to be cast on allies, resetting their HP after 4 seconds or so. So it is very good against the type of lineup that Tundra has, which isn't big burst damage. It's kind of slow and steady team fight where they completely dominate you within a 10-second window. But if Weaver kind of gets into the mix and resets Lina, for example, it could offset Tundra where suddenly Red King really is. And you see here the strength of Ogre. He's a big boy. He just needs to get up in the lane, spam his spells. And I love the fact that, you know, the panel mentioned Bloodlust. Bloodlust is a spell which is like kind of your mid-game thing. Right now in laning phase, you need your Ignite, you need your Fire Blast, just to try and get some aggression going in that safe lane.
Don't recognize.
Team for 2 against the 9 for 0. So as expected, Supreme getting a good lead, but 9.
Is he gonna? Oh, yeah. Oh, of course he doesn't have roll. Is he gonna make the same play as the previous game? Well, yeah. But of course he used the roll to get this rune. Won't work out. And Hanskin doing the old classic, kill yourself to a tower, which is better than killing yourself to neutral creeps. To neutral creeps, it's obviously a longer respawn time. And because none of the die had hit him within the last like 15 seconds, the kill was just evenly distributed gold to everyone rather than the kill going to one.
Another courier here for Aramis.
Good little ward there. Of course, Aramis, deep observer ward that allows him just to always get the courier kills. Germinate does affect couriers, therefore pretty easy to get the courier snipes.
It's going to limit some of the backup that Skeeter has coming from in this top lane. We could have some tangos on that, and there's a sort of fresh stack. So Skeeter's going to be caught on the regen here in the lane. Down. Caught out by the spear, but not quite enough damage upon Hammer done. And Fado himself still having some tangos to pass over to Skeeter to avoid how be in this laning stage.
Yeah, I love the fact that 9 really puts emphasis on
What have we?
like, of course, before you have supports coming in, but he's always going for the rune that they're trying to go for. Take away his enemy bounty, because if Hanskin didn't aggressively take the bounty rune, he'd have had this bounty plus 2 charges, reset farm mid-wave, then get his own bounty. So I really like the fact that 9 is just heads up, keeping an eye on the clock, always making sure he plays those runes. Because when you're in a matchup that isn't so great for you, you need to have that regen to exist. Making
Could be fine.
Could be fine, yeah. Oh, especially with this ice armor, yeah.
Guys, this spring to be really nice in this lane. I mean, we see Alliance get pretty close to threatening Snake King's life, but Tundra between the two of them, 33 seconds, both covering each other's backs. See top lane, spear. Catch on so far, it doesn't matter though. Aramis is able to chase him with the Scoochie and get that first blood here for Alliance.
Yeah, you have to respect the amount of damage that Weaver and Mars can do. I think people, it's only a Weaver, what can you really do? But when you have the Swarm for the next engagement, this was only Sakuchi and Germinate, but yeah, it is so much damage. If you ever step kind of out of that tree line, you can easily go down. Now has his pack of tangos from the courier that died earlier. Very much just trying to get wherever they can in this top lane. They're not, like, this isn't going to be a Gyrocopter who's just farming free kills. It's going to be very much the he'll die a couple of times, so Void doesn't have to die. That's the type of lane Alliance now. Ooh, a lot of damage here, but he does have a salve. So not the end of the day for Aramis.
More than happy to tank a bit of mana there from Fado.
So the nice thing there from that roll from 9, he was timing it with the creep wave dying from the tower as well. So then when he connects on the roll, the creep should die, bang, Lina on the tower getting hit. We get to see that aggression once again from Snapfire and Doom. The cookie into Lil Shredder, like Nico baby. Even though he has the helmet of IMO, you feel so squishy.
Consistently just being pushed right back out of the lane. I mean, both carries feeling a very similar level of heat right now. 21 and 7, 21 and 1.
And this will be a completely different game for the Wraith King. Previously, he went for Armlet into a Radiance. It's going to be a game where he has to go for that Blink Dagger. Alliance doesn't have multiple forms of initiation. He could be style mid, Mars will be Armlet, Blink style hero, in the river.
Cream is going to turn with the combo onto Snaking, but with the stick charges, Snaking is going to be fine. He's going to try and dance his way with the Illusion Room, but the Magnetize keeps going.
Dire's middle tower
Cream
is under
goes down
attack.
and Hansket. I don't know if he's going to be able to get any help here. Aramis is looking over towards the mid, goes in for the dive kill onto Snaking. We'll be able to find something here for Alliance, but all in all, they try and bring the action to 9, and 9, he's more than happy to take it with the backup of Snake.
Yeah, 9 did a really good job in this lane where he was always farming the small camps both his side and Lina's side, so he always had the levels to match Lina. Where like this CS, even though it looks like Earthquake's keeping up, it's because he's farming more of the small camps, right? And it just gives 9 that kill threat when Lina in the river probably shouldn't be there, but again, Tundra instantly capitalized on that brilliant support. Punish.
And Alliance, they're bringing sort of three heroes around this mid lane. Does mean that Nico Baby's left on his own down onto. They get the kill. Alliance, they try and poke in onto 9, but a quick roll underneath the tier 2 will get him out of harm's way.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Kick off the bug. Back to base. Yeah, you can very much see Alliance. They have put down the laning phase in the hope just to take away this time. Take away 9's home, in which he's able
Radiant's
to thrive.
bottom tower
If farm
is
will
under
gets given to
attack.
him, rotate when possible. And Alliance's game plan is, if we make 9 feel uncomfortable potentially, make him rotate earlier than he wants to. Sure, Nico Baby might die a couple of times, but it might give Alliance that confidence to get into the game. But I think Tundra is seeing through this, and that's why they are killing the Wraith. 9's straight back to mid. Snaking's now mid lane. They've eased off the pressure on the side lanes because they realize, wait, we can't lose this now. We can't allow them just to overwhelm us in this mid lane. Yeah, I don't think Tundra's too kind of scared from this initial engagement.
I don't think so. Laguna Blade has been used, of course, we saw onto Fada, so the Snake be too concerned about the potential burst that could come out upon him. Poke onto 9, but Aramis try and turn. You see the back of the phone. Snake as well. Looking forward, jumping from Skeeter. He's looking for an opportunity. Won't find it, but by the looks of it, doesn't need it. Time dilation onto Aramis, but as he is able to Sakuchi out of there. They'll let the Weaver get away. Didn't want to use the Chrono there, of course, for the support. Peter will return to farming. It'll just be the Ogre going down. Very much, as you say, just sort of shutting down this effort from Alliance around the mid. So Alliance, they are going to have to look elsewhere rather than just this initial plan of throwing everything at the mid, throwing everything at 9's Spirit as early as they can.
Yeah, and Skidder, he nearly got the Chrono onto the Lina there as well, but he cancelled it because he realized that Lina was just quick enough to disconnect and should have dodged it due to the cast.
Radiant's middle
and yeah,
tower
just
is
straight
under
back to
attack.
farming. But no, it's now on Alliance. I think from that previous game, they're playing into the exact same lineup. They should know kind of the beats that Tundra's going to be hitting. It's Rom, Solar Crest type Snapfire, a Veil Gyrocopter, this ability to play with 9. I think Alliance, they need to have the bodies in the right place to tank up that initiation and then try and look for that punishment. Utilize that Mars Arena in the right place at the right time. Try and protect your Lina farming there. They're not there.
Not Supreme. Zone feeling safe in the triangle, but was not safe one bit at all. Top lane. Use the ult here, Chrono and the kisses. Leslau, no chance for him. Tundra. Trying to step up the action again here early on, 9.5 minutes in. They're getting the kills.
I'd love to check the first game because we saw that exact play of Lelys hitting tower into Chrono Monomer Kisses, but in game 1, Shadow Fiend was there. And I think it was around 9 to 10 minutes. So yeah, Tundra really just kind of mimicking their game plan from that previous game. And right now for Alliance, it feels like they need to shift, like the Ogre needs to just get in front, you know? If Ogre dies to an Earthquake roll plus 2 supports, Lina's farming, Wraith King's farming. Because right now for Alliance, it's the bot speed could be on Alina. It's an Armlet Blink +1 on the Wraith King. It's a Blink on the Mars. That's their big timing to try and punish the cooldown of Tundra. Until then, it's kind of wait or even
Dire's
smoke
top
up and try and
tower
look
is
for a
under
kickoff.
attack.
They're not doing that. Yeah, very much Tundra still setting the pace of the game, enabling 9 just for protecting this mid tower. And now you
Radiant's
see
bottom
Alliance,
tower
they feel
is
that
under
pressure a little
attack.
bit because they're congregating
Dire's
around mid
top
once
tower
again,
is under
using that
attack.
catapult, trying to break down the map a little bit.
Knocks on. 33 just comes in, drops down the Doom onto Leslie. He's gone. See them trying to take this mid tower, but 9 in the setup, gets the 2 of them with the magnetize. Supreme's got to back off. There's no chance for Hanscan.
They get denied.
Dire's middle tower has
Cheeky
fallen.
comes on in.
Just able to get a bit of a benefit there for Alliance. Although the kills really adding up here for Tundra. Alliance, even when they do
Radiant's
get the
top
objectives,
tower
taking
is under
heavy
attack.
casualties.
Yeah, and this is the key thing here. They've been able to actually take this mid tower, and they should be able
Radiant's
now
middle tower is under
smoke
attack.
up and make an active play. Of course, Lina, Wraith, these heroes, they don't want to be in any of these early engagements. But you see Ogre, 3 points ignite. If he gets obviously to that cheeky little level 6, that does a lot of damage. Like, jokes aside, ignite is pretty devastating. If you then have, you know, some heroes to actually kill with it, Mars Weaver. But I'd love to see Alliance try and be a little bit proactive in this game. Don't like always just wait for the crow. Right now, it's not available. Doom's not available. Try and make some moves, break down this map a little bit more. Allow Nika Baby
Dire's
to
top
flash
tower
farm. Like,
is under
this
attack.
guy's an incredible farmer.
Dire's
So
structures
play as
are
core,
fortified.
enable him to be off by himself. And then when
Radiant's
he's
bottom
ready,
tower
then you
is
can try and
under
take
attack.
control of the game yourself. And they are trying to do that right now. With this mid play, now moving to top. Alliance is being a little bit more proactive in work.
Dire's
See that
top
there.
tower is
Network
under
difference
attack.
as well, keeping it very close. Despite the kills, we'll see
Dire's
TP's
top
coming
tower
in.
has fallen.
With the setup. Catch out Fada. The arena does have a corner. Start coming in, so that's the might kill for Gyro. We'll lose Lesnar for it.
Too late for
He
you.
gets snaking as well. Aramis, a bit cautious here to damage the little shredder there from Snaking.
9's coming. There you go, roll it in.
He's found the angle. In he goes, catches out Hanscan at the same time. Skeeter catches, he drops the chrono onto Supreme. Kills across the board here for Tundra. Aramis hiding in the
Radiant
trees.
structures are fortified.
Oh, he saw him. He got hit by
9 knows
Suzuki.
he's around.
Even.
Straight away, silence comes down upon him. Tundra
Radiant's
and
bottom
he
tower
kills
is
all
under
across
attack.
the board, and that'll be the tier 1 going into the
Radiant's
hands as
bottom
well.
tower has fallen.
Yeah, this is such a scary timing. Doom, he's 1 component away from BKB. 9 is 1 component away from BKB. Snapfire's hit the Solar Crest. Like, Tundra is hitting a 14-15 minute timing of double BKB, Solar Crest. Yeah, you can ignore Skidder. He's just farming. A drum now on Gyrocopter. Like, they've all itemized for this. We will win these bigger early fights where Alliance, if you look at like their cores, for example, like look at the Lina. So you got a bot, you got a Shadow Blade. I don't think when these BKBs come out, like the Shadow Blade versus BKB matchup, it's not even an argument. It's BKB will win because they have the lockdown as well. So right now, Alliance, they need to try and offset these BKBs by 1 or 2 minutes, give themselves some breathing room in this game because Tundra, they're just kind of following the script of their drop once again.
Try and turn for 9, but 9, he's got back up. Fada comes in with a cooldown. Nika Baby's still trying to stay on top of the target of 9. Supreme will follow in onto Fada with the Laguna. Rest of the Tundra hiding in the trees. Skeeter, no chrono, of course, for 70 seconds, so not too interested in taking the fight now that they know that Alliance has turned up full force.
Dire's king has been killed.
He has Ogre trying to get himself his own medallion, eventually Solar Crest. And this will be maybe a nice moment where if they are able to play this player get a pickoff, they can move towards Roshan using like Mars Wraith and Lina in conjunction with Bloodlust and a medallion. This Roshan will fall pretty easily.
Dire's
So it's on
top
Alliance
tower
right
is
now.
under
They are
attack.
playing this top side of the map in the hope to take a good fight against Tundra, break that, get Aegis. That'll bring them quite equal back into the game. And the idea of BKBs, they can eat through it with the raw HP of an
Dire's
Aegis
top
and a
tower
Wraithing.
is under
So right now you
attack.
see Alliance playing the area in the hope to try and get this from them. I think Gyro Rocket is probably one of the best sounds in the game. Dagon's really good, but I think the bonk of Gyro Rocket is pretty up there.
Gyro Rocket's pretty good. I'd say AMCS is pretty nice. That's some good sound.
To clarify,
I mean, Lina's Laguna Blade sounds pretty epic.
you mean the meat mer Yeah, but the AMCSing, that's on like a range trip, right? You want to hear the mana burn, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Sure. Mana burn and gold at the same time. That's a dream combo.
Or the sound from when you get gold from stacks. When
Oh,
your carries
of
hit, that feels good, that's all.
I mean, just gold sound in general. Especially when you're playing Wraith. You know, when you put those skeletons out and you just sort of hear money cropping out. You know, you're not even looking, but someone somewhere's dying to an angry horde of skeletons. It feels amazing.
Oh, wait, yo. Did I see that right?
What we got?
It's a Radiance on the right thing again.
You weren't. I mean, you said yourself you didn't sort of expect to see it a second time round, but you're sticking with it.
I mean, it very much is indicated looking at this that I need to use it for I need to be now to
This is coming in Supreme. It's definitely going down. Same to be said for Hans getting caught in the chrono. Nico baby now left on his own. And yeah, there's no chance of running away from this one. He'll turn with a stun.
Dire's
He's
middle
got his
tower
second life, but Tundra will have no trouble bringing him down 2 times. He's pretty speedy. He can't run from this. I'll find him in the trees, trying his best to on the top of his way out, but the bash is coming in. Kill is done.
I guess, like, when we think about it for Alliance and how Nika Baby's reading this game is if he goes armlet Blink, he's really putting himself in the box of they have to find kills. And I think the game isn't going their way this early on. If he goes for that Blink, he's kind of double downing on allowing Tundra to play that game. If the lanes went better, they had a couple kills, and you can ride the momentum of get kills, still farm with the skeletons, suddenly you have all the items you need. It's good, but I think right now Nika Baby's accepted that Tundra are the aggressors in this game. They're the ones setting every move, and if he goes for anything other than a Radiant mindset, he won't be able to scale as easily and get to that point where Nika Baby is a world-class carry because he has found farm that no one else can. But it does put Alliance in a difficult position because they have no one to play around, right? Like, if Mars wants to look for fight, but he needs Xena, if Wraithking's not there, like, it is a little bit difficult right now for Alliance, just because they've missed the earlier windows where they could fight, but for sure, Nika Baby is just...
That's loud. Trying to find the lead in with that Invis rune, but sentries are placed down. Tundra, we're aware.
Starting to tip now as well. Farther tip the a rivalry forming in RV.
We want to see a bit of sort of feistiness here between the teams at the start of the league.
And this is where the feistiness will come because Lina has just completed the Shadow Blade, in which it has to net a kill. You know, a Shadow Blade is the equivalent of buying a Blink Dagger. Yeah. It's that surprising form of initiation that should catch you off guard, like Void walking through the river, LSA, into Laguna, Mars on top. And very much Alliance, they live on the fact that Lina has to be the +1 to a Mars or a Wraith King initiation. With Wraith King not going in initiation, it means that Lina and Mars have to play together. Weaver and Ogre supports, they don't support them necessarily from having to find kills. They're heroes that enable the fight and can be that kind of just tickle over damage just to be enough to get a kill, but they're not the explosive heroes to get a kill. So yeah, very much Lina and Mars, they need to hold each other's hands right now, high five a couple times, go together and try and find kills on Tundra. And after I say all that, it's pretty difficult because that's where it's got a BKB, Doom's got a BKB, and actually, I think you can realistically, you can kill Gyro, Void, and Snap if you catch them. You've got to get that sort of. And that's, I think, why Tundra is playing this somewhat buddy system, right? You see Snake King's kind of hugging the same area as 9, 33 still farming. It's not as if Tundra is going, oh, we're ahead, let's farm the entire map. They're still farming so close, and they should be looking most likely to smoke right now, because as you see how condensed they are now, this isn't just a communal file of a small camp. This is an indicator of a smoke, big fight into Roshan.
Chansken wouldn't be the big target.
And in this, any kill right now should allow them just to poke at Roshan, be it a 5, be it at anything.
I mean, the man says to go past Hansken. I mean, if they get Supreme instead, I mean, very tasty. Skeeter, he's going to drop the chrono, he's got the control. And forward, and Spear will be thrown now. Could be brought down. Skeeter's going to be fine. Supreme falls. Hansken was run down by 33, and now Leslau, he's got nothing else to offer up. Tundra, so they needed 1, they end up getting 3 here.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Oh, he's on a cliff.
Oh, he's been cliffed.
Oh, no.
Evil Arteezy.
Oh,
He's up there.
no. Oh, no. He's
Dire's
stuck.
courier
Oh,
has been
he got a
killed.
courier.
Did get a
Easy.
courier. They're ready to join this party. People around this dying. I mean, everybody's dying on Alliance.
What's the best though?
He is. Gets a little bit of a taste of freedom before his inevitable death. You know, they're not that heartless, Tundra.
And then bam.
So they're going to have a final stroll.
Are they going Roshan? Nah, guess not. I thought like this would be a moment where they might just instantly try and go Roshan, have the solo aggression, do a shredder. But this all started because, of course, Spirit with that kick boots him up into the high ground. They used the courier. Actually, no, he was just using it. I thought they used the courier for vision.
Oh, he was actually just getting a
He was just
delivery.
getting an item. He's like, oh no, my courier! But yeah, Tundra just sweeping across the map.
Almighty money.
I guess punishing the Alliance's heroes. They're very much, they play well when they're able to fortify an area, right? Where Ogre's that tanky boy standing on the high ground. Oh no, we found the Ogre, that's so bad. Dying spells come on top. But when Alliance has to move around the map so quickly, playing into the pace of the Earth Spirit, even avoid jumping around, it is pretty difficult, man. This Earth Spirit is pretty cool. Who is that?
Oh, that's DJ Carl led, isn't it?
Oh,
He always gets himself there.
I wasn't just for a beer.
Radiant's bottom
Lots of fodder.
is under attack.
The support gyro is costing them a lot yet again. Two calls already for the Supreme. Let's the Hanscom shortly following as well. Go down. Nico Baby's trying to run. This time round and make sure not to step himself close to any cliffs. But honestly, maybe being up there is better than being down here. As it's another death for the Nico Baby Raid King. 4 dead
Dire's
on
middle
Alliance.
tower is under
Now
attack.
Tundra will feel that they can have a bit of a focus rush. 26 to 7, just 22 minutes in. This game, pretty safe to say it's going just as well as the first one.
Yeah, Tundra, when they know that they don't have a cooldown, they need to be ready for Alliance to look for that smoke. They look for that re-entry back into the game. And they played it beautifully. They have this vision in their own jungle. They stand
Radiant's
firm,
top
ready.
tower
They
is
might
under
not have
attack.
Thunder, they might not have Doom. But if they
Dire's
just hold
middle
their
tower
own,
is under
Alliance
attack.
needs to like
Fallen
just
to the
focus
ground.
points, try and have their own vision. Like, it's so difficult for Alliance. And yeah, Tundra, even without spells, if you play the map well enough, you can take that fight into that inevitable smoke. So unfortunately for Alliance, Tundra was ready
Radiant's
for it.
top
They weren't
tower is
taking
under
their foot off the
attack.
gas and able to punish it once again. This time, the punishment was not only a fight, but like you just mentioned, they get the Roshan as well. And I think this is kind of like the essence of why Void is so good in these games, is because until Weaver gets an Ags, Supreme's playing these mid heroes that don't have some like their own like innate save, and the supports aren't naturally saving supports. So the fight construct for Tundra is, if Void Chrono's mid lane should die. You have Snapfire, you have the layered damage from Gyrocopter. It's very easy for them to always take away 50% of their damage, I'd argue, because the mid lane is such a core component.
Yeah.
And right now for Alliance, they need to try and find a way to open up the fight in a way that they force Tundra to react more. When they're being proactive on Tundra, it's so nice for 9 to roll in, get the vision on the high ground, see everything that's happening, and then suddenly Boy gets to play.
I think we've got that situation where one team has the entirety of the opposition muted, so Alliance
going.
hasn't quite caught the G from Tundra. Hopefully we can get an admin on there as well to pop that G in. 33's trying again, but as I think they do assume that
he just typed 2 Gs. Alliance just won.
Where did I go? Where did I go?
Here we go. We are. Wait, I think these.
We are.
Do you
we
see
are
those
ready.
lines when you mute text chat of an opponent? I don't think you do see this.
Nah, yeah, you do. When you text mute,
Text
you lose
mute,
all
you
voice lines.
Yeah, you mute the voice lines as well.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
we are.
So right now,
we're going to need an admin to say something. Maybe the admin's muted as well. Let's hope not.
There we go.
There we go.
Tundra is ready.
JJ with the T-Tools and with the sound.
At least we know that JJ hasn't been muted by Alliance.
We do.
Congratulations, JJ.
Absolutely, JJ.
What a nice guy.
Rank 100. And there we go. Weaver and Hanscan. They're gone.
Yeah. Difficult situation, but again, Alliance loses the ports. They're not going to be too upset with that, especially in this part of the map. Like right now, I think for Alliance, the best plays that they can make, especially into an Aegis, is offer up these supports in really weird obscure parts of the map, where suddenly Nika Baby's creeping up in the farm. Because as much as we make this game sound doom and gloom, it's simply because the value of net worth that Tundra has right now is translating
Radiant's
into
bottom
owning the
tower is
map.
under
Where
attack.
Alliance, they're kind of investing into the future of their
Dire's top
lineup.
tower
They're not
is
playing for
under
the moment.
attack.
They're playing for some. Let's go for that next Roshan. And like Wraith King and Lina, like they're doing pretty well on net worth. Like
They are
Radiant's
farming.
bottom
they're
tower
not.
is
Because they're not
falling.
farming. It's just how do
Dire's
they put
top
that
tower
together
is
into a
under
winnable
attack.
fight.
Sure.
Radiant's
and this
middle
was sort of
tower is
the
under attack.
similar position gold-wise they were in last game. Like Supreme and Nico, baby, were holding on in farm themselves.
Yeah.
It was just the overall picture was not quite in great of a shape.
This is where Alliance
Radiant's middle tower is
maybe
under
has
attack.
put
Middle
the
tower
blink
has
dagger now
fallen.
into his quick by the previous game. This was a BKB at this point. The game was somewhat over. With a blink dagger, that does allow for the. Oh wait, why is the void in this position?
Dire's
Scan.
top tower
He's a
is
tanky
under
boy.
attack.
He's going to get going on. He's Skidder. He's going to do his best to bring him down. He's coming in. They've got the damage. They do lose the ball for once, but with the Aegis is ready for round two. 19 onto Supreme. Forcing back the Lina. Leslau getting focused in by the Crit, and the missile will finish him off. Supreme trying to get back to the fountain. The Titans kept going. He goes down. Aramis tries to fight Snakey, but Snakey with the double strike. He's able to take down the bomb. Shots inside the shield crack, but Chrono is up. There'll be a dead Weaver and also a dying Leslau. Skeeter beats him down. Buyback from Supreme. Can he get anything out of this? He's being doomed. Either with the BKB, he can look to try and commit onto these two cores. Nico, baby, up to the high ground. With the arm that Toggle, he's going to keep himself safe. Skeeter goes for the TP out. Love 2 seconds to the BKB, and he will make it away. Get some kills there, Alliance, but they do actually use 2 buybacks on Leslau and Supreme.
But this is the fight that Alliance is needed to give themselves at least some confidence, right? It's the idea that they can take the fight, they can utilize this Weaver to punish the type of damage that Tundra has. And I gotta say, that Chrono, it nearly, of course 9 did die, but the footwork from 9 to get around the tree and the southern side of the Chrono to then roll away. Like,
Dire's middle tower
he nearly
is
could
under
have just
attack.
instantly died at start. Maybe we see a replay, I don't know, but yeah, that was
There we have it.
look at it, right, okay,
Yeah.
so you see here, Weaver, of course, at the start of the fight already gets spot on. Look at 9 here, and look at him, he's like,
That is pretty close.
beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
He does unfortunately then roll into a tier 2 and die. But the footwork,
yeah.
that was some pretty crafty footwork.
Well, Ham's
Radiant are scanning.
He's got a missile heading his way, and he's got no ticket out of there. The TP's still on cooldown.
Is he going to turn and face the rocket, or will he never look at it? Cool guys, don't look at it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, bud.
Bye.
Again, the key thing to take away from that fight was Alliance is able to take a fight into
Dire's
the
bottom tower
Tundra
is
lineup
under attack.
once they have like that perfect construct, right? It's the idea. Ogre tanked up so much to bait the void in. If there wasn't an Aegis there, Alliance just sweep that fight. That simply is the idea that Alliance wasn't able to stop that first Roshan going to Tundra, giving Tundra that confidence to make those plays. But it does, if you're an Alliance fan, give you a glimmer of hope of Alliance is able to at some point maybe scale into this game if they can position themselves correctly to take the necessary fights. And it is off the back of the new guys, honestly. It's like Aramis right now, he needs to have stellar positioning.
Oh, he's got to make these
Dire are
saves.
scanning.
Yeah, 100%. And even Supreme to some degree. He can't be out kind of in no man's land, enabling Tundra that simple entry to the fight. It needs to be Hanskin, it needs to be even Nika Baby to some degree, giving themselves up, baiting Tundra into kind of extending into not one fight, but then overextending into that secondary fight that often develops.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Came in at the ready, and Leslau is alone up here.
He's got a blink available.
Trees, they got an entry to find him, they don't. Read there from Leslau.
Yeah, 33. He had the Shivas available to then scout out the tree line. He used it a little bit earlier. Yeah, you got Mars. He himself is now one component away from BKB. Lina is about to complete her BKB. And Wraith King surprise. Oh, sorry. BKB.
Yeah,
There we go.
BKBs.
That's 3 BKBs coming out from Alliance. And all the damage from Tundra, unless Void is right-clicking you,
Radiant's
it
top
isn't really
tower is
physical.
under
So
attack.
if they're able to survive for a doom and then utilize these BKBs accordingly, there's going to be some punch now in the alliance
Radiant's
fight,
top
but again,
tower
it's
has
all
fallen.
about vision, all about the
Dire's
initiation.
bottom
If
tower
Tundra
is
gets that
under
clean
attack.
initiation, Chrono on one, Doom on another, it doesn't matter if you have BKB, you will be killed before they're truly affected. So, oh yeah, and Aaron missed that. But
Radiant's
again, like
top
these
tower
deaths
is under attack.
don't really matter too much.
Sure, because he's got his iron. He's got his action.
Yeah, and it's so far on the bottom side of the map that Tundra now needs to spend 20 seconds running to the other side, which again, if they didn't run like this, it is worth. But the fact that they're already here, they are punishing this death through then taking away the triangle. Alliance farms it quick enough that worst case scenario, Handskin dies here. But they're going to be happy with this. They're looking at that triple BKB timing. They're not caring about Loki getting a shadow amulet or the Weaver getting anything else. Yeah, right now Alliance is really kind of playing like the please just die for some fun. That's currently what they're doing. But they can't do it now because Roshan, I
Radiant's
believe,
top
is up
tower
in the
is
next
under
minute.
attack.
Full Skadi gun on Skeeter as well. Well, that's something to work through those BKBs. Sure, yeah, with the BKB rating, Nico Baby's going to have an easier time of finding his targets. And we saw, of course, in that last fight they had around their own triangle with the buybacks coming into play. Nico Baby did get a significant amount of damage done without him. With it, that duration will provide a fair few seconds where Tundra's got to be careful about how they do keep their distance from the Wraith King.
9 has a portal arcane rune as well, so if Alliance, they got triple BKB, yep, beautiful time. Actually, no, sorry, double BKB. Mars doesn't have one. Beautiful timing from them. But the fact that this Earth at 9 will have arcane rune, plenty to get around the fire.
Get a quick kill on Father.
Good stuff.
Now, wasn't that open up for them, Roshan?
Fortunately not. Oh, it's not a quick enough respawn.
Watch him in the high ground. He's going to go for handscan. Quickly kicks him up to the high ground.
Bought himself a handskin.
Page in history.
Right time, 30 seconds. Father will be back in the game. 9 scouting out the Roshan situation. We're just under a minute for the respawn.
Both teams trying to play on their own high ground.
Staking. He's up and he's down. Jump
Dire's
in with
middle
Blink,
tower
cookies
is
down to
under
low ground.
attack.
Nico Baby's going to try and turn his efforts over towards snaking, but 9 kick gets snaking back up to the safety.
Beautiful stuff from 9 right now. Like he just killed off Handskin with one kick and he saved snaking with another. Really playing around this high ground, low ground area. Also, value of Snapfire in that engagement, right? Like he puts himself on a cliff, but he has the little
Dire's
shredder to
middle
automatically
tower
deward
is
the
under
ward, which you
attack.
get those quick hits in succession, and then you cookie yourself off the cliff. So yeah, snaking, just making sure Alliance had zero vision to play around. Now if Alliance wants to take a fight at Roshan, they need to get everyone back together, smoke up, get back into an area, and get that high ground vision.
This Roche strike could be the game. C33. Gonna lead him with the BKB, get the opening vision here for the team. Fine, and take down a hand scan. The rest of Alliance continue to retreat. I'm not quite able to close in onto Leslau. Tundra fully forced them away.
It's the make or break moment for Alliance right now. There is no BKB available.
×3.
Ogre has buyback and can use the tier 2 TP, be it mid or top, and Roshan's alive. So if Tundra want to play this with confidence,
Radiant
they
are
could.
scanning.
Yeah, they're already hitting the Roshan.
I mean, do Alliance have to sort of throw everything in to try and stop this Roche?
I think right now they
Let it
probably
go?
they're giving it up. Because we're a bit like if they've gone in the moment, instantly smoke, there's no BKB, maybe.
See over the side. Baby, he's been found. They're able to bring him down once. Over the side, 9 rolls in the control onto that Baroness. Get away with the Shikuchi. Doom's dropped down onto Nico Baby. Plus the BKB will get held in position by the Baroness. A Skeeter off the back of finishing Roche. Picking up the agent. Turn up. Bring down Nico Baby's Wraith King. Maybe more. Definitely more here with 9. Closing in onto Supreme. BKB in the shadows like the sentry is down. There's lookers around him and they will no escape for the Lina. Looking forward onto 9. Jumps in on top of Vanscan for death. Once again, Tundra getting all the glory here in 9, even thinking about diving into the base.
Radiant's middle
Another
tower
flag
is
place,
under
but yeah,
attack.
for Alliance right there, when Doom uses that BKB into the high ground and you lose your Ogre, they have a very split
Radiant's
second
middle
inside.
tower has
Is they're
fallen.
grouping, smoking, and
Radiant's
contesting
middle
Roshan,
tower
giving it
is
up.
under attack.
They initially gave it up,
Radiant
and then they
structures
decided to
are
contest after.
fortified.
So in the moment of switching game plans, it allowed Tundra to set up at Roshan accordingly, contest, get the kill, and still find the necessary pickoff. So yeah, unfortunately for Alliance,
Radiant's
a
middle
very small
tower
margin
is
in the
falling.
game to try and take a good fight. They did miss it slightly, but again, they were down by so much gold. It's so hard to find that home.
Let's now tries to start the action, but immediately BKB from snaking puts a stop to the combo. Let's out, he'll get close in upon Skeeter, crashes to pieces, they bring him down, Knight's able to roll away before the damage can be done from the three of them. And we're trying to take down the Earth Spirit, they couldn't quite do it. Back towards the base, Alliance, they're being forced back to the fountain, past their towers and racks it. Tundra just fully on with the aggression, pretty confident with the Aegis still intact on Skeeter. Jump forward for Nico, maybe he's looking for a kill, he will get it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Your spirit bows
One
to
more they
me.
can find here. Just trying to chase. Just a buyback from Nico, baby, of course.
Haste.
Nice. Trying to get whatever Tundra can, provide. Right? If Tundra keeps the hero out too long,
Radiant's
they get
top
another kill,
tower is
it
under
could give them a
attack.
little bit more confidence. But yeah, Tundra, they just fully disengage. Void, he's saving the tree for a little bit. Like, maybe I can go, but yeah, with 9 being half HP, no Doom, no Monomus Kisses, there's no reason for Tundra to want to take this extended fight, to give Alliance a single opportunity into the game. And that's a nice thing from Tundra so far in this series. They have shown such a beautiful discipline on. They might play with the confidence, offering up high fives, planting flags, but they're doing it knowing that they can play in that area. It's not as if we're seeing them overextend and just die unnecessarily. So they are playing with both confidence. Yeah, it's really nice to see.
Skeeter. 2 minutes of farming the second life.
Big fan of his itemization here. The pressure up. Now that he's already completed his big damage items, be it in the form of, Skadi, Maelstrom, even, of course the farming of the Mask of Madness, but the fact that he's able to have presence in the fight, all he has to do to win a fight is hit a good chrono. And Refresher Orb, it is such a good item. Double Percy, the amount of mana regen that you get. You might not have the mana pull to chrono refresh chrono in an easier fight using all your other spells, but you have the ability to take a fight, reset, a couple minutes, then go in again with another chrono.
Attack.
So yeah, I'm a big fan.
Absolutely, especially at this stage of the game, which for Alliance, the buybacks are going to be something they will have to rely on to possibly hold against some of these sieges from Tundra.
And he will actually have the mana to do a full double chrono combo.
Radiant's
So it's not as
top
if he's
tower
even
is under attack.
Starved of mana. And
Dire's
it's like, I've got a
bottom
refresher.
tower
Like,
is under
because he has the
attack.
Skadi, he can just chrono refresh chrono on the spot if he really has to. But I've seen Void with the refresher where they'll just chrono one guy, kill him, 20 seconds later, they just instantly pop another refresh and they're in another fight.
Look at this Knight. He's able to get a good distance there on Nico, baby. Kicking him away for the rest of his team. Will force out the BKB. Knight, also with his own BKB, wanting to get back in on top of Alliance. Alliance, they'll quickly look to split. It's a hand scan and Will. Sacrificial lamb here. Torn apart by Tundra as the rest of Alliance
Dire
scramble
are
their way
scanning.
back to base.
All over them. Yeah, I love Earth Spirit Axe. I think this is such a cool concept in the fact that you can turn someone to stone and kick them, and the kick is so far. Like if you're able to get into the enemy base, it's a fail-safe Magnus Skewer. It's the same thing. We saw how good Magnus Skewer was at TI. If you can find other heroes to be able to do it, like anyone that repositions in Dota is conceptually a broken hero. Like Batrider, the reason why he's always been so good is BKB piercing actually drag the enemy out of base. And yeah, I love the fact
Radiant's top
that
tower
in games
is
on
under
Earth you
attack.
can get to this point where you have this, you're out of position, boom, you're further out of position.
Lovely one as well there from to find that Timeless Relic.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Now for Tundra, they're just going to be able to play up in Alliance's face, keep moving from top to bottom, playing the vision that they have to make sure that they can't beat their base, extend this lead even further, and potentially for them, unless Alliance give them that free pick-off, they'll probably be just farming up into next Roshan, then going into end the game. Because Tundra isn't a team that just suddenly, dives tier 4s in the hope to kill him in their fountain, right? Like, they will still play pretty calculated with their confidence. And for Alliance, we're pretty excited to take, excited, another option, but a fight in their own base, it's the best fight that they can take. Use that extra armor from the towers, hopefully Tundra disconnects with their positioning because you don't have Ursa really rolling around the base like the opponent. So
There we go.
but look, he's kicked so far away.
I mean, he is completely taken away from his base. Nico, baby, will get time that's back to safety, but now the Chrono's down onto Aramis side. We forgot. Nobody find there for the second one, and it's a solid. Getting both Supreme and Nico, baby. Double Chronos coming in there from Skeeter. The arena all coming his way, but Supreme, he's out for 100. He cannot fight back. Supports Will, however, Hanscan and Aramis returning to the action as they do take down 9. Tundra, they're still with the numbers, they're back in. 33 pops the refresher, the second Doom down onto Nico, baby. As Nico, baby, will try and walk back to the high ground. But with Reincarnate on cooldown, he is out for good, dead for 2 minutes. GG, it's goal. Tundra. They're going to play the same job 2 times back to back here in this series. And honestly, it looked just as good in the second game. I mean, the kills there, 50 to 14. I think Tundra's going to be rather pleased with themselves there.
Yeah, this is I mean, if you're a Tundra fan, this is exactly what you want to see, right?